I'm Luke.
And I'm Saro.
And I'm Evelyn.
And we love theater.
We're pretty much theater geeks.
So we are bringing to you this podcast,
talking about our experiences, mess-ups, and more.
Welcome to Stage Shot.
Hello, podcast listeners.
Hey.
Welcome back to Stage Chat Podcast, episode 7.
7. I can't think of what's
Are you trying to say Spanish again?
Yes, I am.
Siete. How do you not know that? Okay.
I just messed up.
I knew that since birth.
I remember. I knew that. I know, I knew up till 10, but
Podcast numero 7.
Numero 7.
Okay, sorry. So we're electrified to be back. We should really make a sound effect for that. Yeah, now we're saying electrified. And yeah, so today we're going to be talking about times we've been typecasted or times we've had really bad casting experiences. The episode in general is just bad casting. But the thing is, we're not doing this. Oh yeah, I should have told you. Sarah's not here today. He's busy. Kind of sucks, but can't change it. So we actually have a guest now. And her name is Sydney. She's one of our great friends. She's been in tons of shows with us.
Sydney, say hi.
Hi.
We're so excited to have you, electrified to have you here.
Oh, yes.
I am electrified to be here.
Thanks for coming on today. We picked you because you're a great actress, but we also know that you've been typecasted a lot, and you have stories about that. So yeah, as I already said this, but we're just gonna be talking about times you've been typecasted and times where there's been bad casting or other bad casting experience you've had. And lastly, we're going to talk about how you can deal with biased theater and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you guys ready to jump in?
Yes, we are.
Woo. All right. So if you don't know what typecasting is, Sydney, you want to tell them?
So typecasting is when, based on your body type, your voice, and what people would imagine you as, basically just seeing you, not really knowing you that well, what they would cast you as in a show, and then they end up casting you as that role, and that's what typecasting is.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, as she said, it's just basically casting you as someone that's generalizing you based on one thing about you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So first we're just gonna talk about times we've been typecasted. So I'm usually typecasted as a nice guy. And I don't know, it just happens a lot. Let me think. I was in Peter Pan once. I wouldn't have said the show name, but you already know it. And I played one of the kids, which were supposed to be nice. And I'm not going to name the show, but one time I played another nice person, and that happens every show, even if I wanted something like a villain. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. And I'm not trying to be picky. I'm fine with any role. Well, not any role, but I'm fine with a big amount of roles. But I don't know, it just kind of gets annoying after a while.
And it's the opposite for you, Sydney, right?
Yeah.
You're usually the villain.
I'm usually cast as a villain.
In Peter Pan.
Yeah, in Peter Pan you play Captain Hook.
You guys might not see me. Yeah, you don't see me, but I am female. And typically I am cast as a male role. Or if I'm cast as a female role, it's a female villain who's kind of in between boy and girl.
Wait, what were you in? Oh no, you weren't.
We're not going to mention, just so you know, we're probably not going to mention show names for our safety. And because we don't want to offend people in them either.
We didn't mention anyone.
I don't know. Whatever. If you want to say it, I'll just pause the recording.
Sure.
Alright, so, yeah, now, Evelyn, what about you? How are you usually typecast?
Okay, I'm usually a mom or...
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Wait a second. Didn't you play a mom in...
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the wrong... No, you basically played a mom in every show.
Pretty much, except for actually Peter Pan. I didn't. Really.
Yeah, the only show we've really mentioned on this podcast, it's Beauty and the Beast and Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Except I'm pretty sure Charles mentioned a few.
But in other things, literally all.
I played Mrs. What's-It once. That was the only male.
You just gave away the show.
I know, but I was I'm always either cast as a male role or I'm cast as that really earthy, weird female character. Nothing in
Earthy?
between.
Earthy?
Earthy. Like
I'm questioning what
Zen.
that means.
Like the person who's extremely spiritual.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must happen a lot. All right, so now we can just gonna talk about bad casting experiences we've had to deal with.
Like we said auditions last time, right? Like
maybe.
that however you present yourself in your audition just matters for your part. And like Sydney, you don't like go out for male roles, do you?
No,
Not
I
usually.
usually put just like
But for
standard.
auditions, like what kind of songs do you do?
I usually sing just like the one that's more like I typically, unless I feel like I really am like not ready, I usually go out for more the one that's usually more like upbeat, but it's also like a little bit slow. Like I usually do like ones that's more like a
Oh, that's like Hook's Tango from Peter Pan.
like more of
To
like a
cook a cake. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
No.
I do like belting songs a lot.
Yes.
I don't know why. I
just
like to belt.
like feminine ones or no?
I like to belt
mean,
too, but not
they're
like
like
female belting.
I mean, they're like kind of in between because a lot of the things I do is like a song that would be belted, but it's like for like it's for like the like it's for like an ensemble cast, not for one individual person necessarily. So then they kind of take it as like, oh, well, they'd be really good as a male role, which is fine. It's just sometimes I'd like to be cast as like Wendy or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So now we're gonna talk about bad like casting experiences, and you can mention the character, but if it's really obvious to like a show, then just like don't say it. I prefer. And oh my god, that's such a cool virtual background.
It's not cool. I just wanted to look because I'm on the floor and there's couches.
And also, we're not trying to be like super whiny about not getting a part or something, like because that's not what we are. We're thankful that we even get to participate in theater and get good parts at all. It's just like
Okay.
yeah. All right. So Evelyn, you want to go first? Like bad times you've been casted and stuff.
Sure. Well, Peter Pan was a low light. That was an extreme low light.
Oh my god.
That was sad. Cause I said like I cracked my note in the audition. That totally failed.
Oh yeah, that's the one where you played the pirate.
No, it was worse.
Yeah, she was a lost boy, right?
It was a named Lost Boy.
It was a double casted show. I was a Lost Boy too.
Yeah, well, that actually made it much worse. Double casting.
Yeah, double casting sucks.
Especially since I had such a small role, though.
We know what role you were, Cindy.
Yeah, we all know what role I was. And then I was a pirate in the other cast. And I said it, and they like put me in the back because I'm not a good dancer.
Yeah, no.
Neither am I.
It was especially bad because it was of like the named roles. It was tiny, so when I only got to do that like 2 shows out of 4, it's not great.
All right, so I have a story too. Sydney just froze. All right. So
her hand was like up at the camera.
I have a story too. So one time, this was actually no, I'm not gonna say that. So I'm not gonna mention the role I had or the show. But what happened was I was in like the oldest group, first show, and I was happy. I was ready. I don't want to say, but for like privacy reasons. But like I went in excited, practiced all week. Like had everything down, and then the audition flunked. So wait, no, it's not that actually. So I think the audition was fine, but I guess they didn't see it because what happened was I got like ensemble. Basically, I was in 2 songs. I'm not kidding. Like for mostly, you might remember this, Sydney, because I'm pretty sure you were in the show. And oh wait, and Evelyn, you definitely were. But I was sort of just sitting on the side like the entire time. Like that was so boring. Like I had this solo part in one thing, but like that was the only thing, and it really kind of stank. And I know there's other kids out there that haven't gotten big parts before.
But especially when like the younger kids, they got like the lead roles and we played. It was just.
Yeah, I wish they mixed it up. Yeah, at our theater, the place is awesome, but I wish they mixed it up more. Like a lot of times, they'll either give too many roles to the young kids or too many roles to the old kids.
And occasionally, like the young kids are really good.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't give like roles to like certain people, but still. And there's a few others, but I'm not really gonna mention them because I don't know. Sydney, you're up. Like, what are some bad casting experiences you've had?
Oh my god, that was the
Um,
fattest squirrel I've ever seen. Oh my god.
so
Oh my god, it's
Um,
so fat. I'm sorry.
my first show I ever did, well, not like my first show, I was like in like the little cast where everyone was like snowflakes or whatever. And then I went up to like the main cast. And the first show I ever did there was I auditioned and they gave me a role and I played somebody's dad. And I was in
Somebody's
third.
dad in like third grade.
Yeah, I played someone's dad and like I was in like
Oh, I
third
just said the
grade.
grade. Oh well.
Yeah, no, it was fine. I was in like third grade and I played this this girl. She's in like I don't know. She was like at least 2 years older than me, and she played my daughter, and I played her dad. And I was like, honestly, I had so much fun in that show, but I was so upset when I first got the role.
Oh my
Like
god.
my friends, they had both gotten Oompa Loompas.
Oh, you
So I
kind
was
of gave
like-
away what the show
Yeah,
was.
well, whatever.
Oh, I just gave one.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, now I
It's
remember
okay.
how you were the dad. You
Well, they
played
both got-
you played Mike TV's mom.
No, I didn't. I played Baruka Salt's dad.
Veruca
Oh,
Salt's
yeah.
dad's the best.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay,
Go for it.
so I just like, so my friends, they got on like ensemble and they're like, oh wow, that's like really good because it was like our first show and we're like really excited. But then I was like, yeah, and then I went to like the rehearsals and they'd be like, you're acting too much like a girl, like you have to act more like a boy or like a man. And I was like, what? And they were like,
That's really
just-
I
weird.
kind of. I
and they're
get
just
that
like,
for
your
like a
voice is like this when your voice needs to be like this. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like, are
I
you
was-
are you a soprano or are you an alto?
mid.
Yeah, I'm like a mid.
But then how are you supposed
you
to sing
can
as a
sing
man? Like, I'm currently like a tenor kind of, but like
I
that doesn't mean I can start belting like the way Angelica does. in
I had
Hamilton.
one
Ah!
solo in the whole
Sarah.
show. I had like one line. I had one line in the whole. Well, I had lines, but I had one line in like in a song. I had like one solo line, and I was like, I don't know. I just like they were like saying that it was like too high or too low or too fast or too slow. Like I like couldn't get it
That
right.
rhymed.
I know, right?
Too high, too low.
I just couldn't
fast,
get
too
right,
slow.
and I did
High,
not.
too low, too
It was
fast,
really
too
hard.
slow.
And I don't know. And I was so jealous of like and there's this kid who used to say like, oh, like I switched roles with this person, so now I'm that role. And I was like, that's not how it works. And they did switch roles, but it made me think like, what if they had actually switched roles? And then I was like, can I switch roles with someone? Because like I liked it. And then I was like, and everyone talked about how great the experience was. And I was like, yeah, it was so funny. And they're like, no, it was just really great. And I was like, no, it was funny.
Yeah,
was
for
like,
some reason they tried to go like a steampunk route on that show. Like,
yeah, it was a little bit weird.
yeah,
I
the
watched
show was
it.
great, but it didn't have the best decisions at times.
It was like,
Yeah.
Although one of my best friends was casted, so if you you know who I'm talking about. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So what else? I actually have one more story. It's not about. Oh wait, no, here. So I talked about this a few times on the podcast, maybe like once or twice. But I remember I was like casted with this other girl, and we were supposed to be like really good friends, like always working together. But in real life, we hated each other. And like I'm able to act with someone I hate, but like I think it just affected the on-screen work because it didn't turn out very good. Like she pushed me on the stage on the final show. Like
what?
I remember.
like,
I remember what show this was.
yeah, and I kind of just played it off. It was really rude, and she apologized and we're fine now. Just like back then, it wasn't nice.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. All right. So basically, we've talked a bit about bias theater and how it sucks and how just like different ways that like it's not the best.
The little fifth graders wouldn't really fit in.
Soaring, flying.
All right.
There's not a okay. Sorry.
We
That we can't reach.
I was watching
If
that
we're
movie.
try- Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Go check it out, although you've probably seen it before.
Most likely.
I actually have a
Yes.
school play story that it's not really biased theater, but it's also kind of funny, so I just want to talk about it.
Go for it.
So I've already talked about this on episode 2, season 1, episode 2, the mess up one. But what happened was I was in a school play and it was kind of cheap where everyone just kind of sat in the back when they weren't doing their part. So what happened was the curtain was closed and I was like one of the 4 leads and like all 4 of us there was only 3 of us actually, and then we were standing on stage and then like we had to perform on this weird like step thing. Like it was like straight down floor. So, like, you can imagine how weird that is to perform on. So, like, what happened was at one time I tripped and fell to the ground. And luckily I didn't get hurt. But, like, I just had to play it off and, like, do some weird improv. Like, I don't know, it was weird. All right, so now I've written down some points on how to deal with biased theater. Evelyn, are you on the doc still?
Yeah, I am. But also for school plays, you know, those people who are like singers and stuff.
Yeah.
At your school, they just like sing all the time. And then they audition, they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get the lead. And all their friends are like, oh my god, you're gonna get the lead. You're so good at singing.
Oh, yeah, that's so satisfying
And
when
they do
someone
that?
talks about getting the lead then doesn't get it.
Oh god, it's so
Well, actually, unless they're being nice about it. If they're being an ass about it, then it's not
but
good.
also like, because if you can sing, you can't always act. And that's
Oh, yeah.
awful. That's what, like, so we've been like speculating since like 2nd grade in my school. Like, who's gonna be the lead in 8th grade? And everyone's like, oh my god, it's this girl because she has such a good voice. I'm like,
Yeah, just because you can sing doesn't mean you can act.
I can act, I can sing.
Like just because I can,
need to
like just
act
because I can
well.
act and decently sing doesn't mean I can dance. Like,
Yeah, I know.
like just
You need
because
to-
you can act doesn't mean you can do all
do
the other
stuff,
2
bro.
things. Not trying to rain
And it's
on
also
any
weird, like,
aspiring
seeing your
actors'
friends
parades.
sing, you know?
Oh yeah, that's so weird.
Like, some people who don't sing and they just sing all of a sudden. You're like, wait, what?
You're, Jesus, he's
What?
talented.
Why are they good? What?
Yeah.
I sing all the time, and there's this girl that I really like disliked. She was just like, I'm obviously not gonna name her, but I really disliked her. She was just like really rude to me all the time. And then one day I was singing, she's just like, oh, let me join in. And then she was singing, and she was actually like, I hate to admit this, but she was actually like pretty good.
Yeah.
And I was like so upset. I was like, one day she will get the lead instead of me, and it'll be all the worse because she like, you know, like I don't like her. Which is like, I'm not saying that like you shouldn't just be like, if they're your competition, you shouldn't like her. It's just like she was just mean to me in general.
Yeah. So basically, sorry for getting off topic, but now we're gonna talk about biased theater. So basically, you probably know what this is, but biased is when like usually like they like always like not hire necessarily, but like give up good parts to this person like frequently. Like I'm not gonna name names, but there's this one person in the theater place I go to that always gets the leads, and it used to annoy, and it still annoys me a bit, but like it happens a lot, which kind of stinks as awesome as the theater is. So now we're just going to talk about what you can do to deal with it. So first thing to know is that it's probably not your fault. Like if they're biased, that shouldn't be because of you. And if they're being rude to you, then like fork them. Like, know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, Sydney, we're Good Place fans.
Oh my god, yes! I love The Good Place.
It's
the
so
good place is okay. Sorry, we can't get off topic.
We
again.
can't talk about The Good Place right now.
So good, but anywho.
You want to read the next point that I'm highlighting on the doc?
Sure. Yeah, another thing on how to deal with it, just like make your own connection with the director. Like make bonds so you might get some biased theater next time.
Okay,
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys, I have like a really weird thing. Well, it's not weird, but like something to do. Just like if you're not happy with the role you got in general because of bias theater, because of typecasting, just like make the role your own.
Mm-hmm.
You stand out if you make the role your own. If you blend in
And they'll
and
notice
do
that you can take
what
notes and
people-
stuff.
Something you could do is that if you are really
Oh, we
interested in
just
the
cut
lines,
Sydney
just
off,
read.
like fully.
I'm really sorry.
yeah, you did.
Sorry.
So like it's just like so with theater, like theater is a way to like express yourself, and so express yourself through the role. That's what theater is for. And
Yeah.
if you do what is expected of you to do while in that role, then you're not going to stand out like you you want to. You know,
Yeah.
if even if you're like in ensemble part, you have like one line, like just like make it your own, make the whole character your own, even if you're not talking, just make your actions your own. And then you just like have this brand new character who's still the original character but in your own way, and then everyone's like, wow, that's so good. Like when I was in a show, it was double casted, and my version of it was so different than what would have been expected of me.
Yeah, that's what casters usually encourage.
Yeah, like, and then they see that. When people do that, they see that, and then
you might get a better part.
Yeah, then you might get a better part next time. Or sometimes, I know this came up for me, but so like if you just really do that, then like there are people in the audience who work for theaters and stuff like that, and they see that and they're drawn to that, and then they offer you an audition.
And also
like that happened to me once, and it was that audition was honestly like that audition and that show was the best experience, like my best theater experience yet.
That's awesome. And also something you can do is if you're really interested in the lines, just read them in the mirror. Like, who cares? Like,
also,
I remember I once got a part, but I wanted to play another.
Plug for Sydney, real quick. She was on TV. It was so funny.
Yeah, I was on TV, and I have a newspaper with my name on it.
Oh my god!
We saw it come on, and we've
been friends for like 4 years, and I do not know this.
Oh my god! So I just I don't know. I didn't know it was on TV. I saw them all filming it, but I thought they were filming like the adults because there were these people who were on like Broadway. So then I was like, thought they were filming them. Am I revealing too much?
Maybe. Anyways,
they won't even know the show. It's fine.
Yeah, who cares? Just as I said, read them in the mirror. Like one time I got this part, but then I realized there was another part I wanted, so I read those lines in the mirror, and it was super cool. All right, so a few more points. One is just stick with the play. I know it kind of sucks, but like if you're a quitter, it's gonna make you look 10 times worse. Like you might not believe me, but like if you quit the show, it's gonna make you seem like that little whiny bench who like freaks out when they don't get the part they want. And I know we're kind of doing that in the podcast, but like
pretty much.
That's
fine.
And last time is if it's a really bad experience, we're only talking about bias theater, but if you really didn't like the part you got and like don't want to participate, just leave the show. Leave after the show.
Yeah, we'll do the show because no one likes a quitter. But like,
do the show, but then leave after the show.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then wow, that was loud. Make it clear.
Yeah, so actually I think that's all. So
right.
I guess that's it for the podcast. And Sydney, thank you so much for coming on. You were the most talkative guest we've ever had, and we're so happy about that.
I mean, I'm a little bit talkative. We all know that I like to.
That's why you always get the chipper parts in the plays.
It's clear.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like to talk, and it's one of my talents, talking.
Yes, talking.
I know.
You could be a talk show host. All right, so some of these just feel like conversations, so we always get off topic.
Yeah, well.
I know.
Anyways, thanks for coming on today, and it was so fun. And it just felt more like a natural conversation than actually recording.
Conversation.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I think we got an episode past 15 minutes.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Finally.
Okay.
Because I talk too much.
No, not too much.
Anyways, see you soon. But thanks for coming. Bye.